So thank you and welcome to our FY25 enrollment training for the FreePhillyPreK application. I am Jennifer Harris, the Enrollment and Family Engagement Manager with PHNC's PHL Pre-K. I oversee the referral line here and all things enrollment for our PHL Pre-K contracted slides. You also hear from Deborah. I'll let her introduce herself, Diane, and Sean.
Thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. I'm Deborah Hartraft. I am a senior project manager with the School District of Philadelphia. My responsibilities are all of our pre-K enrollment. So all of our enrollment for pre-K counts, Head Start, and our PHL slots.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you to all our providers there. Hopefully you have heard by now that we will have an online application available for all free full-day publicly funded preschool options in Philadelphia. That's any pre-K counts, any Head Start, any Head Start supplemental, any PHL pre-K seat, that in a partnership with the school district and the city, we will now have one online platform for families to go and apply. Families don't have to go and determine, am I a Head Start family? Am I a pre-K counts family? Am I a PHL pre-K? Is this a PHL pre-K center? We're making it easier for families to understand there are high quality, free, full day options available to them. And you can go to this one website to find them. And you can go to that website to also apply to go to them. But that's to help you as providers also to make sure that you can look at what option or what families are applying to your centers and have them all in one list in one portal. So that being said, my name is Sean Perkins. I am overseeing the Early Childhood Education Department from the city of Philadelphia, joined by the incredible colleague from the school district, Diane. Diane, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, good afternoon, folks. I'm Diane Casalbano, Deputy for Early Learning with the School District of Philadelphia, and I'll be talking to you a little bit later after Sean does some introductions.
Wonderful. So thank you again for joining us here. I want to make sure you're aware of, we elected a new mayor for the city of Philadelphia, Mayor Parker, who has established her administration's pre-K priorities, which are boiled down into two major buckets. The first is to strengthen our early childhood education foundation by supporting the current workforce and building the future workforce pipeline. And that foundation is important to make sure we're maximizing all of our public preschool investments. So all of the federal dollars that come in, all the state dollars, all the local tax dollars, and all the philanthropic dollars, we need to maximize all of those investments as much as possible. And we do that to better meet our community's needs. That includes remodeling interventions for children with exceptional needs that is not limited to intellectual disabilities or developmental delays. That includes mental behavioral health that we know is a growing concern. It includes language interventions that we know increasingly are needed for our youngest learners. We need to expand our access to pre-K. We don't have enough infant toddler seats. We have parts of the city that don't have enough 3- and 4-year-old seats. We also need a one-stop enrollment and access point. That's what we're here to talk about. And more regular and meaningful stakeholder engagements. These are the large 7 priorities for preschool in the Parker administration. The city has committed almost $4.5 million, that's $4.5 million to help support the current workforce and build a future pipeline. That includes bonuses that I think hopefully you have heard that announcement already, that for teachers that are returning for the 24-25 school year, there will be a $2,000 lead teacher bonus, up to $2,000. So if those lead teachers are getting bonuses elsewhere, the city will cover the difference. But if they're not, they get the full $2,000. Assistant teachers, $1,500. More details are coming there. We're also rolling out a suite of trainings to help with mental behavioral supports and children undergoing trauma. We'll provide the supplies for those, and we'll give you stipends for your teachers to attend those trainings this summer. So more details are coming on that, but we want to make sure you're aware the city is investing in our current and our future workforce. Today, we want to talk about something else, though. Next slide. We want to talk about what's going live on Monday, June 3rd. We will be releasing our one-stop enrollment and access point, for which you're here to discuss a little bit more. We do this so that way we do not leave any federal, state, or local dollars on the table. We have vacancies across our city. And we want to try and bridge that gap by by launching this one online platform for families to use. And that website is FreePhillyPreK.org. And that's what we'll be discussing today. To talk a little bit more, or I'm sorry, I wanted to go over one other thing with you all, which is some of the reception we receive from families. Next slide. Right, we've been paying attention and listening to what our families have been saying, like, why do we want a one-stop enrollment site? And I don't need to read them all for you here, but I took a few screenshots of a few Facebook groups. One is like Northern Liberties, the other one is Fairmount, one is South Philly Parents. They could actually call it South Silly Parents. Another one in West Philly. So the family members are out there confused many times, going like, why is this so unnecessarily complicated? Or why am I going to the school district website when I'm looking for a FreePhillyPreK spot? And those are confusing for families. We should be reducing the confusion. And that's why we want to just launch one online platform. To talk a little bit more about why, I'm going to hand it over to Diane to share that.
Great. So let's just reiterate the overall purpose and goals so that we can level set on that. About why are we doing a unified application and placement process for publicly funded pre-K in Philadelphia? And first and foremost, it's about making it easier for families to locate and to apply to the preschool of their choice. We still have too many pre-K seats in Philadelphia that remain unfilled. And we have families and children who can really benefit from a free, high-quality pre-K experience. So we want families to be able to apply to multiple sites at once, and that requires a modern and streamlined process. And the online application process that we're introducing you today is really easy to use. It's mobile friendly. It's available in 12 languages. We also want to make sure that families are not unnecessarily limited by where they attend due to eligibility requirements. So yes, sometimes a family will not meet the income eligibility requirements of a pre-K seat at a certain site, but we really want to try to minimize the number of times that happens. And this process and this application is a first step towards that. Finally, we're also hoping to reduce wait lists and reassignments and that thing that we call the waitlist shuffle. That's really cumbersome to manage and frustrating, not only for families, but for you as providers. So with that, I think I'm turning it over now to Jen, to our MC of the moment.
Thanks, Diane and Sean. Our agenda for today will be as follows. We will have our communications and marketing presentation. We will share about FreePhillyPreK, Explore and Apply. As this is a joint effort, we will have the school district share about the enrollment process and their policies. Then we will have PHMC share about the FY24 end of the year activities, the enrollment process and policy, and we'll have a presentation by Spark QSC. Our communications and marketing toolkit for FreePhillyPreK is being finalized. Once it has been completed, it will be shared at a later date. FreePhillyPreK. Now I will share how families can apply. First, families can go to our Explore page. When they go to the FreePhillyPreK Explore page, they'll be able to see all programs within the FreePhillyPreK family. The families can type in their address to locate centers closest to their desired residence, either their home, job, school, wherever. Families can locate centers within a mile, half mile, to make sure they are there every day. Families will go to the site, FreePhillyPreK.org, and will be able to apply online. Here you can see a snippet of what it looks like for families applying. If you have any questions regarding the enrollment process for FreePhillyPreK, please reach out to the enrollment team. You can email us at phlprek@phnc.org, or you can give us a call at 844-745-7735.
Okay, hello everyone again. My name is Deborah Hartraft. I am responsible for all of our enrollment with the district. So we're going to talk about how this new process with FreePhillyPreK application is going to work for us, for those of us who have slots with the school district of Philadelphia. So let's talk a little bit about all the ways that a family can apply and how that flow is going to work. The first way is a family can submit a paper application. They're always going to be able to have this option. It's an equity concern, so we never want to take this away. Any family that has any difficulty with technology is going to be able to submit a paper application. We're still, for this year, going to have our COPA application. So our parent portal that we've been using since 2020 is still available for our families. We went live with this in January, and we're still going to keep it up. This new Free Philly application that's launching June 3rd is just another door into our program. So no matter where the family lands, if they land with a paper application, if they land on our parent portal, or if they happen to land on the Free Philly online application, those are all ways for our families to get into our program. Can I ask that everyone mute, please, so that we don't have any feedback? Thank you. So if a family applies with a paper application, like always, we have to enter that data into COPA. So, all right, let's try this again. So when we get a paper application, the provider is responsible for putting that paper application into COPA. Many times families will come down to 440, and if they bring us a paper application that's for your center, we will put it into COPA for you and we will let you know. We're not going to send the family away. If the family applies through the parent portal in COPA, the application automatically goes to your recruitment list, which is great because then we don't have to do any data entry, right? If they apply on the Free Philly application, what's going to happen is every day, me and my staff will go into that system. We're going to pull that data down and the documents, and we're going to upload it directly into COPA. So you won't need to do anything. You will see those applications on your recruitment list, on your wait list, just as always. So you want to make sure that you are daily checking your recruitment list and checking your wait list, because that's where you're going to see any of the applications that come in through the parent portal in COPA and any of the applications that come in through the Free Philly online application. So again, you'll check COPA, you'll check your recruitment list, you'll check your wait list. Then you can move forward with determining eligibility. You can move forward with pre-enrolling the families. And then any of the sites that have PHL, pre-K with us, we will go ahead and take that data and put it into childware for you. So again, you don't need to worry about childware. You don't need to worry about the Free Philly online application. We are doing all of the data work for you. You really just need to be logging into COPA, checking your recruitment list, checking your wait list, making sure that you're calling families, doing interviews, and processing the applications as you've always done. However, we are going to give you access to view the Free Philly application because we want you to be able to service families to the full capacity. Let's say a family comes into your center and says, I applied on this Free Philly application and I haven't heard anything. I want you to be able to be empowered to sign in, see the status, and understand what that means so that you don't have to look at the family and say, I don't know what's going on with that. So we're going to give you the access to look into the system and see what's going on. So I want you to understand what the different statuses in the system mean. If you look up a child and it says in progress, that means that the application is not complete. So they either have not finished the application or they're missing documents. So you're going to want to tell the family, log back in, complete the application, upload your documents, because no one's going to move forward with your application until it's complete. If you sign in and you search for a family and it says submitted, that means that the family has completed the application, they've uploaded their documents, and they're ready for review. We just haven't started the review process yet. If their status says under review, this means that we have started the review process. So for us, for school district contracted, it means that we've pulled that data off of the system and we've put it in COPA. So you should be able to see the child in COPA if their status says under review. There may be a little bit of lag time, particularly in the beginning. Give us a little bit of grace because we're learning this process for the first time. But if you see that it's been under review for a while and you can't see them in COPA, by all means, reach out to me because maybe there's been an error. Just give me a ping so I can solve the problem. again, once we finish the whole process in COPA, so you've determined their eligibility, you've interviewed the family, you've pre-enrolled the family, or even they're enrolled, I will on a weekly basis update this system to make sure that those kids are under the admission status, so that this system is also indicating that they have been pre-enrolled or enrolled. So those are the 4 statuses that we have within the Free Philly online app. And at any time that you sign in and you look up a child, you'll be able to see what status they're under. So how do we search for a child? You're going to get your login information by the end of this week, and you'll be able to go to this link that's right here, this UAT Apply Availa link. And when you get to that link, you're going to want to do a couple of things. We have to hit apply, that's over here on the left. And you want to click all, because if you hit any of these other sub statuses, you won't be able to see all the kids. You'll only see the kids that are under those sub statuses. So we want to make sure we're under all. And then we have a search bar underneath that where we can put in the child's name, the child ID, the parent name, or the parent ID. And it will bring the child's file up with any of those pieces of information. And once the child file comes up here at the bottom, you'll be able to check the status over here. So you can see that this child, Miles, their status is under review. So that should mean that they are already within COPA for you to look for the child and do the interview and do the eligibility. So again, this is another door into our program. You as providers are not required to go into the new Free Philly app and look for anything, but you'll have access to see the child's status whenever you need to. Your main responsibility is to go into COPA, monitor your recruitment list, monitor your wait list. If you're struggling with that and you need assistance, we have staff to support you that are designated particularly for your support with COPA, your support with data entry, eligibility, anything around that. Just reach out to us and let us know. We'll send somebody to come over and help. If you're thinking, okay, great, everything's in COPA, but I don't really know how to use COPA. I need help. I need assistance with training. We're going to set that up. If you need any help with COPA or any help with eligibility determination, we're going to go ahead and schedule you to do that. So I'm going to share in the chat a link for you to fill out if you need eligibility training or if you need ERSI training, any kind of COPA training around that. Also, the second link is for you to request access to the Free Philly application. So when you fill out that second link, we'll be able to set you up within that system so that you can see all of the statuses of all the children that have applied to your center or your centers. I know many of you manage multiple centers. So you'll be able to, on that link, you'll be able to put your name and all of the different centers that you manage. So you'll have access to all of them. Okay, great. So in general, there's not a lot for you guys to do with this new Free Philly application. It is another door into our system, and we, the School District of Philadelphia staff, are going to manage that data and make sure that you get it within COPA.
Thanks, Deb. Now I'll share for the PHMC contracted PHL pre-K providers your steps for enrolling in childcare. As shared, we are offering a new way for families to get connected to PHL pre-K services. Families can either submit an application online through the Free Philly online application, tongue twister, or the paper application. For the Free Philly online application, the parent submits their application online, uploads their proof of address, proof of age, all of that right in the system so that you can see it. They can do it right on their phone with pictures, and we'll go through that. We, PHMC, then updates their status to assign that child to your location. The provider reviews the application, contacts the family to verify eligibility. You then enter the abbreviated information into childware. You don't have to upload anything if the application is completed on the online platform. PHMC staff then approves the child in childware and updates the family status in Free Philly online. Then the provider notifies the family of placement, and their child is now enrolled and scheduled to start, provided they've done all the other pieces that you require children to do when they're connected with your location. If the family submits a paper application, that provider meets with the family, collects the documents, verifies their age and residency. The provider enters information in childware and must upload all documents in childware. PHMC approves the child, and then you notify the family that they have been awarded a seat at your location. So we'll go through those steps in detail, but let's first share about this free Philly online application. Again, both applications are available in 12 languages, so families can be connected if English is not their primary language to know how to answer the questions because it's in their primary language. So I'll first share about the Free Philly Online. I'm going to show you. Yep, I'm going to show you from my admin portal because you'll have access to this. So what happens is when you go into Avella, which is the Free Philly Online app, you'll be able to see the families. You'll get to search. We're going to search for Alex. And then we'll go through what this looks like, but we have one ranking where it says ready for provider. Those are the children you would first work to enroll in your program. If it says do not touch, that's because they're a second choice for another location, and we want to make sure that we first get them enrolled in their first choice. So these tags mean a lot, and we'll go through them in detail in the coming slides. So again, ready for provider review are the first children you want to work to enroll in your location. So sorry, one more thing. So when we click on that child and we see that they're interested in the site, we'll get to see all the answers from their application that they completed, very similar to the paper application. The online application allows families to apply to up to 3 locations. But again, we work to enroll them at their first location first. Then once their first location is full, we go to the second. And once you have exhausted all of your first choice families, you then will have access to look at the second choice to get them enrolled so that you can have full enrollment. When you scroll down, you see all the family's information. And as shared, the family uploads what their birth certificate is. You will see that here. Actually, let me find another child where I did put a thing for. Name. Here we go. Okay. So when I scroll down, we'll be able to see the birth certificate that the family put in. It'll come up. You'll be able to see it. Yes, this child is age eligible. You'll get to see their proof of residence, the bill that was submitted. You'll get to see a pay stub that was submitted, which also can support with proof of residency, and then a family's ID. Okay. So then we have our paper application. Again, very similar to the online application. So the first page is a face sheet sharing about FreePhillyPreK from the School District of Philadelphia and the City of Philadelphia. It lists the required documents for children to be enrolled in the program: child's age, family's residency, household income, and picture identification of the parent or guardian. We also have listed additional documents that may be needed for a family to enroll at your location. We've also added a QR code in the event that a parent wants to complete the application online. The second page shares acceptable verification documents for their child's age, residency, and household income. Page 3 starts the application. Section 1 is for the primary caregiver's information. We encourage that all applications be completed in its entirety. Section 2 is for a secondary caregiver. We know sometimes families will put a secondary, sometimes they won't. But it's here for us to add that person if they're somebody. Section 3 is for location. Again, on the paper application, you can apply to 1 location. If you are using an online application, you could be on a wait list for 3. And sometimes, a family may come to your center and want to enroll, but you're full, so they go to another center. So that helps them to not have to fill out multiple applications. The 1 online application helps support them get connected to you faster. Section 4 is for the pre-K child. All information for the student. Section 5 is housing information. Section 6, income. Section 7 is service information. This is the conversation for you to have with the family to know if they're interested in before, aftercare, or summer care. And then you have the conversation to see if they will use private pay to cover the hours outside of pre-K or CCIS if they qualify. Page 6 goes into our family attestation, where the family is stating, I have given you everything to the best of my ability for my family. And then you, the provider, sign once you have verified that this child is eligible to be enrolled in the program. Page 7 is our agreement form, screening, assessment, and family engagement services. So this is a consent form now for our families to say, yes, we are open to having the developmental screenings of the ages and stages questionnaire, the outcomes assessments, which is completed at minimum 2 times a year, and then the family engagement piece of just helping families to have meaningful activities and interactions with their children daily. And the family signs, and we have a completed paper application. Again, all of these pieces can be completed on the online app, and families can complete either the paper or the online. No wrong door for us to get enrolled.
I have a question. Why is it that they keep changing these applications? Like, why is it like, why they can't just do an application where the parents don't have to keep filling the applications out, especially the ones that's already enrolled? Because every year they have to fill out a new application. And they really don't be wanting to fill out the application, but it's just like, is it another way that they can do it? Where they don't have to keep redoing it? Like our kids that's already enrolled, why should they have to keep doing another application?
Good question. I will say with our Free Philly online app, all the information will be in the system. Each year they just have to update if there are any changes and then just select different schools that they're interested in. But also from year to year, different requirements or requests are made where we update the application. This year we were intentional of making it a unified so that it's one application, whether you're doing pre-K counts, Head Start, or PHL pre-K. So we are moving towards just trying to streamline things better for families to make it less confusing. On the slideshow before of the parents' complaints and things that sort, we're trying to listen to make it streamlined, and this is our steps to going towards that direction.
And just to reiterate too, as Jennifer said, for this year, the big change is that it is a unified application so that families only have to fill out one application, whether they're applying to a, PHL pre-K or a location that has Head Start pre-K counts, and PHL pre-K. So it's one application, one unified application. We don't have different applications. And that's the intention then going forward from this year on.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have a question too. So, this a family that's already in my center, and from Philly Pre-K this year, they would have to fill out a new one for next year. Well, not next year, for September coming.
So what has been our practice is that we do have families completing the application each year. It just helps us to ensure that we have the most recent address, most recent phone number for the families. In the event we want to contact them, we're working to have one data source to be able to have the information. And again, this online app is helping us to once they connected with families, being able to connect with families, letting them know when things are coming up. Also supports us with the kindergarten transition and that trend. That phase when they get to that age. But again, working to just streamline it to be helpful to all families.
And I'm going to ask if folks could hold questions for the moment, maybe put them in the chat. If you have questions, we will have we do have a couple of places scheduled for questions, and we might be able to answer some of your questions as we move through the presentation.
I'm going to have Kamika share about the Free Philly online app statuses.
Good morning. I'm going to review the Free Philly online application statuses. So if you see in progress, that means that the application is started but incomplete. Submitted means that the application is submitted with all supporting documents and pending review. Under review means that the PHMC contracted provider is reviewing age and residency documents. Providers enter data into childware. School selection cannot be changed. Also for the school district contracted, school district uploads into COPA and documents are reviewed in COPA. And if you see admissions, that means we are holding a spot for this child enrolled or pre-enrolled in childware or COPA.
Thank you. So as families complete their application online, they may ask, what's the status of my application? So this is showing you how you can check the status of a family's application. You go into the online app, you select apply, go to all, and then you type in a child's name to find out what the status is. As shared under review means that that application has been submitted and it is working to be processed. This one for Miles Test 2 says under review accepted. That means that the child has been submitted. The application has been submitted online. You, the provider, has reviewed the application and the child has been approved to start at your location. And we will update it, their status in the online app, and in Childware it will have an approved. You'll get the approved alert. So how do you find applications assigned to you for review? As shared, I'll be giving a link at the end of this presentation for us to set up your account in the online app platform. You will then be able to log in and set up your account, which I'll show you later on, but you'll select apply, all, you could type in a child's name, or you could filter to look at the children, for the ones assigned to you, you'll filter for the under review because that lets you know that they are ready to be reviewed. And then it'll say assigned to provider. Again, families can choose up to 3 schools to enroll at, but we'll first help you go through your first choice families first, because we do that first come, first serve. And it says assigned to provider. Those are the children who want to work to enroll in your location. The other option says do not touch. That means that they are not ready to be reviewed yet, and they're still being processed on the enrollment team side. But again, it'll say assigned to provider, and those children you'll work to enroll at your location first. So the provider's responsibility, once you connect with that family of that ready to review, you'll select their name, you'll review those verification documents, which I showed you on the app for Janine Teagues. Any credits to Abbott Elementary today. So you'll review the documents, that proof of age, that proof of address. You'll say, yes, this child is eligible for your program. You'll enter their information into Childware. We'll approve them in Childware and update their status on the online application. A big difference is that if the child does the application, if the family does the application online, you do not have to upload the application or documents in Childware for that family, just enroll them. However, if they do complete a paper application, you must upload all documents in Childware at the time of submission for approval. So let's go through those steps. Step 1, eligibility. For the online application, you, the provider, will review the application and documents in FreePhilly online app, contact and meet with the family, review that proof of age, proof of residency, and household income, and make an eligibility determination. If the paper application is completed, again, you make sure that the family completes the application in its entirety, meet with the family as you complete it, or if they complete on their own, when you review it, make sure it's completed in its entirety, collect that proof of age, family residency, and household income, and make that eligibility determination. You ensure that the application is signed, and you affirm by signing that paper application that everything is as it should be. So for PHL pre-K eligibility, you may notice that there are some changes related to conversion as noted in previous years. Children must be 3 or 4 years old by September 1st, 2024, and live in Philadelphia to enroll this coming September. PHL pre-K seats may be offered to newly enrolling children and children aging into the program. PHL pre-K funds may be used to convert a child from subsidy or private pay when they become age eligible for PHL pre-K. Children who receive pre-K services, subsidy, or private pay may be offered a PHL pre-K seat when they become age eligible. PHL pre-K seats may be offered to a family who loses eligibility status for federal or state funding. So, eligibility verification documents that are accepted for child's age are listed here. We've also added an age calculator just to help support, because after seeing so many date of births, you think it's right and want to just make sure this age calculator is really helpful in doing that. Then we have eligibility verification for families' residents. We also have a zip code helper. If you're unsure, you type in the address. It'll let you know for sure if that family is in Philadelphia. We do ask that if any documents are dated, that they are dated within the last 12 months of the child's enrollment date. And lastly is household income. These are the documents that can be submitted for household income. Step 2, data entry. So let's talk about the online application, as this is the new feature. PHMC updates the Free Philly online app status and notifies the provider. So you'll be alerted as children are assigned to your location so that you can reach out to them to meet them. Again, we will change the status to under review and add the tag that says assigned to provider or not assigned to provider. So that ready for review is the children that you want to look at first to get them enrolled in your program. If assigned, you review the application and the documents in the online app, enter the abbreviated information in childware to submit for approval. For our 1.0 sites, it's the same process. You'll review the application in the online app and then submit the child in childware 1.0 for us, the intermediary, to approve. If they're completing a paper application, you enter all the information in childware, upload the application and the documents of verification. If it's a returning child, you just add them on that previous file. You don't have to create a new file for returning children. The pre-enrollment date must be 48 hours after the application entry date. For our Childware 1.0 users, providers enters the application information in Childware 1.0, selects a pending status, and again, the pre-enrollment date must be the 48 hours after the application entry date. You then email us, the intermediary, a list of all children to be enrolled. We will review Childware 1.0 and add them into the Childware 2.0 system. Step 3, the Free Philly online app and childware. So with the online application, again, we receive an alert or email that the child has been enrolled in childware. We then review everything and work to get you that confirmation of approval of enrollment within 48 hours. We will then change the tag online to approved in childware, admissions, and offer accepted, so that seat is solidified for your location so that we don't over-enroll at your location. If it is the paper application, we receive the alert as well that you have enrolled the child in childware. We review and give you confirmation of enrollment. For our 1.0 sites, we will check the 1.0 site for all the documents that you have uploaded. We will ensure that we have translated it to Childware 2.0, and then you'll get an alert that the child was approved. The final step is placement and notification, step 4, for the online application or paper application. Once you have been alerted that the child has been approved, you will alert the family that they are able to start within 24 hours of receiving that approval notification. So what can cause a delay in childware enrollment approvals? For our 2.0 sites, if you entered the child on an old application childware, that can delay. We want to make sure we're opening up a new application and some questions have been adjusted to try to help streamline and make the process of enrolling a little shorter. For our 2.0 sites, again, if you entered the child in the system on a new record when they had a previous record, again, all returning children can be re-enrolled on their same file, just selecting a new application. For our 1.0 sites, if you did not enter or update the child on 1.0 or select the FreePhillyPreK and or set status as pending, that can delay enrollment. And lastly, for both our 2.0 and 1.0 users, if the application and supporting documents are not uploaded in childware or on the Free Philly online app, that can delay enrollment approval. As we know, the application is one step of the enrollment process. Other documents may be required: the CCW enrollment confirmation form, the OCF media release form, health assessment with immunization, parent fee agreement, and emergency contact form are some forms to name. You want to make sure that when you meet with the family, you are getting the other forms you need to ensure a complete application for that child that you're enrolling at your location. Our enrollment priorities. As you know, we work on a first-come, first-served basis. So the hope is that we are enrolling children in order of date stamp of application, first starting with our returning children, then our children aging into FreePhillyPreK, and then new children to your facility. I'll have Kamika share when you can start enrolling.
When can I start enrolling children? You may begin enrolling children FreePhillyPreK enrollment training. 2, sign and return the notice of award to PHMC. 3, have a FreePhillyPreK user account. And 4, new locations must also attend introduction to childware and set up for new providers. Upon completion of the above steps, seats will be allocated in childcare within 48 business hours of completion. PHL pre-K enrollments should not be confirmed with families until the enrollment is approved in childcare.
There we go. Thank you so much. One more, Kamika.
Okay, the FY24 end of the year enrollment activities. So withdrawing children, PHMC will withdraw all children in applicant or waitlist status children by May the 31st. When discharging children, all children with the enrolled status and attending until the last day of school must be discharged by May 31st as completed program. If discharged earlier than the last day of school, refer to the discharge statuses. And also, lastly, please notify CCW office. So for children receiving subsidy, the appropriate office should be notified that the child has been discharged from the PHL pre-K program within 5 business days.
Thank you so much. So our goals for enrollment is that we get to full enrollment by September 30th, 2024. We encourage you, the provider, to work towards and maintain 100% enrollment and a waitlist throughout the year. Vacancies will be analyzed monthly. Vacancies of 30 days or more may be at risk for reallocation. For our 2.0 providers, if you have a child that's enrolled and then they want to discharge, you simply discharge them in 2.0 as you have always done. For our 1.0 sites, again, as you have always done, please just email us, phlprek@phmc.org, to inform us of the discharge with the child's name, the discharge date, and the discharge reason. So there are different times that we'll discharge a child. One is if the child was not served within the initial 7 days of approval. So unless prohibited by DHS, a program must begin serving a child within 7 program days of the approved enrollment start date by PHMC. If the child does not attend within that time frame, follow with the family to confirm intent to attend before discharging. If the family identifies a health-related reason for the child not starting on the original date, then allow 21 days before proceeding to discharge the child from the system. We may have a child no longer residing in Philadelphia. If a family notifies you of the program that the child no longer resides in Philadelphia city limits, the provider must inform the family immediately that the child is no longer eligible for PHL pre-K and must be discharged by the end of a 30-day period. The provider should work with this family to secure alternate funding or find another appropriate care setting, and may do so for a period of up to 30 days before the child is discharged from the PHL pre-K program. Chronic absence. If attendance of a chronically absent child does not improve after 30 days of working with families to improve attendance, a child may be eligible for discharge with approval from the administrative intermediary and OCF. And lastly, close of program year. At the close of each PHL pre-K program year, providers are to discharge all enrollments per guidance and timeline provided by the intermediary. So now we have our discharge statuses. Never attended. This is for children who were provided a start date and did not start within 7 business days of that date per PHL pre-K policy. Withdrew from program. Children whose families willingly withdrew from programming. Completed program. Children who attended to the last day of PHL pre-K programming. Switch funding source. Children who remained at your site but switched out of PHL pre-K funding and into another funding source. And transfer within agency. Children who move from one site within your agency to a different site within your agency, but remain recipients of PHL pre-K funding. There are also 2 discharge statuses that PHMC will use. The first is verification non-compliance. This is for children who did not meet the age and or address requirement for PHL pre-K, and or application was incomplete and therefore did not qualify for PHL pre-K funding. And duplicate discharge, for children who were found to be enrolled in more than one PHL pre-K site at one time. So next we have childcare statuses. I want to give you a refresher, and Kamika will share.
It's a refresher of childcare statuses. Pre-enrolled means that the child has been pre-enrolled into the system and the start date is in the future. Enrolled means that the child's start date enables the enrollment status. Discharge means that the child was discharged from the system for one of the discharge reasons previously listed. An applicant means that the child has been added as an applicant or waitlist in the system.
Thank you. So you may be wondering, how am I notified of approved enrollments? Upon approval, you will receive an approval confirmation notification, similar to the email listed in this slide. A provider must receive this email confirmation of approval prior to allowing the child to start in their program. What if I didn't receive the approval confirmation alert? For our 2.0 users, you can go on your home dashboard in Childware to see if the child is listed under approved and pre-enrolled. But all users are strongly encouraged to still email us at phlprek@phnc.org if you need to receive the approval confirmation alerts to make sure you're in the system to receive them. Verifying documents in Childware and the Free Philly online app. Our provider services team will verify documents in Childware 2.0 and 1.0 for FY25 to support enrollment verification and monitoring activities. All application and enrollment documents must be added in the child's record in Childware 1.0 or 2.0 if the family did not complete the Free Philly online application. Uploaded documents should be in PDF format for Childware. However, if parents complete the application online, they can use pictures. So if they take a screenshot or they take a picture and scan it and upload it right into their online file. Tip sheets are available and will be shared. Please note the provider services team will verify eligibility documentation and compliance with the enrollment process during their compliance monitoring checks. Payments will be held for any incomplete files. So, as shared, I'll be putting a link here in the chat for you to complete. Please do complete it. This is how you set up your free Philly online app account. So again, I've added the link in the chat. I will add it again. Once you do this, I will submit it to the team so that they can get your account set up. What happens is you'll set up the account. You'll confirm your password after the account has been verified. As that password has been reset, it allows you to then sign in, and then you will have access to your admin account. And one more second and just show you what it looks like once you do sign in.
I have a question about the accounts, creating the account.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I'm like right now, me and my supervisor, we are attending to this training.
Mhm.
Should we create one account or each one of us make an account?
Good question. I have also seen that in the chat. You should make your own account and they should make their own account. Everyone can make their own account to have to log in to be able to view.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So then once you do this,
Jennifer, can I just add to that too?
Mhm.
And you may have said this already, but it doesn't hurt to emphasize, right? So everyone does need their own account who would need access to view the applications. If you need access to more than one location, more than one center in your application, you can indicate which centers you need access to. So you can indicate multiple centers in your form. But each person needs to complete a separate form.
So now we'll have Rex share some information from our Quality Support Center.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer and team. Providers, take a deep breath. That was a lot of information. I know. Whew. Well, I'm Rex. I'm the Deputy Director of Content and Learning Strategy with the Spark Choir Support Center. I oversee our training, content solutions, and strategic initiatives. And for those who aren't familiar with the Spark Choir Support Center, if you're a new provider, congratulations. Welcome to FreePhillyPreK. The Spark QSC, we're responsible for delivering high-quality support services directly to providers participating in the City of Philadelphia's FreePhillyPreK program. So it's that time of the year again when we're wrapping things up and we're also thinking about what's happening next. I remember that feeling and those crazy days all too well. My hope today is to offer framing and thoughts to support you as you're taking action on marketing and enrolling families into your program. This information might be for you who is tasked to design and implement those marketing plans, or there's someone else on your team who does that. So be sure to share this information. pass it along when the recording becomes available. So let's talk marketing. So marketing is the way your business communicates about the services you offer to the public. If done right, your marketing efforts make people want to learn more about and ultimately use your services. This communication can be something people see or hear or experience. And your program impacts real people by addressing and alleviating the needs of families in your community, such as the problem of trying to find free, high quality preschool education. But if nobody knows what your program is doing or the services you provide, you can miss out on opportunities like enrollment opportunities, community partnerships, funding, and even referrals. So marketing helps your business communicate its personal story. So I ask you to think about this question is, what is your brand? So let's think about that in 5 phrases here. Be consistent, relay your promise, address your values, nurture your reputation, and define your services. And your story needs to do more than simply let people know about your services. It also needs to let people know what values you have in common. Do you value high quality care? What about a well-rounded curriculum? These values can help define how you want your business or program to be perceived and its reputation. And it's that reputation that should be the focus of your marketing, really communicating your promise to families you serve. And over time, as you present consistent communication about your services and your values, that becomes your brand. In finding your voice, I'll share a bit more about some of those strategies on the next slide. If you're interested in a deeper dive, there is a resource guide that the Spark QSC did develop called How Can I Create an Effective Marketing, Sales and Marketing Plan, which I'll throw in the chat so folks can open that up and keep it on the side. But I know no matter the time of the year, whether it was my preschool program, my school age, my high school program, I was always thinking about how am I going to enroll children, youth, or families into our programs? So whether you're thinking about marketing strategies, when you're thinking about your marketing strategies for your program, here I just want to offer and identify different types of strategies, which are considered low intensity, middle intensity, or high intensity strategies, each requiring a different level of energy, along with a different method of promotion and outreach. And as I go through these on the screen, if you do have your own success story or tips to share, please throw that in the chat. I know I always like to seek inspiration from fellow providers, so that way I can feel like we're all in this community trying to serve children and families in Philadelphia. So first are our low intensity strategies, which requires less planning and are designed to reach all families. And these strategies are like brochures, flyers, or banners you would put out into the public. You can also utilize social media, whether you're utilizing pictures or short stories, and even seeking current family recommendations and testimonials so that can be used, so they could be your advocates of your program's success and that future families can take advantage of. Then there's middle intensity strategies, which are focused on specific groups of families or external outreach. Many of these that I personally use as a former provider in South Philly. And so these strategies are attending and tabling at community events for promoting and advertising your program at places like local parks or the library, or if you're by a commercial corridor, if there's any events that is hosted by the business community, being part of that too. Another way is connecting with other social service or neighbor organizations in your area so that you can share your services so that they can share with their clients who might be potentially seeking your service. And lastly, high intensity strategies are for those one-to-one contacts and connections between staff and families who are ready to join your program or even just to cultivate their interests. And so these strategies include a script ready for consistent, clear communication. So that could be talking points either for yourself or for your staff to use as they're talking about your program to those who are learning about it. You can conduct those one-on-one tours or meetings to share information. I've seen folks host and organize open houses and their own community events to really draw in the community to their locations. And also you consider different types of visits that you can offer, whether it's like an in-person, virtual, or a home visit that could promote your program further. And so these are just some marketing strategies that are helpful for your EC program or business. And what they can do is that support your presence within the community and fostering relationships with families and other folks, other businesses and organizations around you. And in addition to marketing and enrollment, I do encourage all of you to also think about family engagement and how it's interwoven into this. Your goal is to build positive family partnerships, whether that's with parents, grandparents, or other important adult figures and caregivers in that child's life. And we really want to see these as intentional opportunities for families to be an integral component of the program and the child's learning. Because remember, you're not just enrolling the child, you're enrolling the whole family, and you want to consider family engagement activities as ways to invite them into their child's education. So here are just a variety of opportunities or touch points for families that you can share as you're prospecting and cultivating their interests. You can talk about your welcome and dismissal routines. The admission and dismissal times are not only times when children and families enter and leave the building, these are also opportunities for families to check in and check out of the space. These could be brief moments when they can come in as their full self, whether that's tired, energetic, hungry, seen it all. And just ensure that those families leave your center feeling better, knowing that their child is in your care. You can also look at your classroom visits and events. So offering opportunities for family members to lead or support or contribute to any of those classroom activities, whether it's like a guest reader for morning meeting or a snack time, or whether it's volunteering for maybe field trips that you have planned ahead, or even thinking about those special holidays or theme days that you have and the families can be a part of them. And even thinking about if they could contribute to your learning center. Sometimes families can't come in, but they can give. So maybe you request fabrics or learning materials or books that their child likes to read. Another is home visits, something that I would suggest doing on a more occasional basis. And there are more distinct guidelines to conduct home visits that your program can consider adopting. And this, I like to say, is definitely a way to go the extra mile for your families. And a few scenarios that in which you may want to use a home visit is, let's say a family is unable to attend an in-person appointment at your location due to their home or work schedule. Maybe there's documentation or information that they need more further one-on-one guidance, or there's some resources that they mention as part of that enrollment process that you want to give to them. And I encourage folks to really think about when it comes to home visits that it's not just at the home, you can also consider public spaces. I've heard providers even utilizing like cafes or libraries, and also even virtually like Google Meet, Zoom, or video phone call. And lastly, naming some of those other opportunities throughout the year, whether it's kindergarten transition activities, really sharing with the families how you're helping their child prepare for kindergarten that following school year. You may have these other opportunities like family meetings, really times for families to connect with you, gain information, hear about upcoming events, and also give feedback or have a forum of discussions. Mentioning about family teacher conferences, which is one of those one-on-one interactions to discuss their child's progress and goals. And lastly, if you really want to think about family leadership, a family advisory council, really a cohort of families who are interested in serving that advisory role to serve as your thought partners in your activities, along with all the various things that you're handling when it comes to family engagement. So these are just some examples of structures that staff and families are able to step into and can understand their active role that they play. And for all PHO Pre-K provider locations, you do have a PHO Pre-K coach. And so here are some coaching supports available for marketing and enrollment, available through the Spark Quiet Support Center. You can connect with your PHO Pre-K coach to access support for social media, to tell your story. If you are doing a community event to promote enrollment, if you are developing an enrollment kit, a toolkit, if you are seeking supports in connecting with community stakeholders, and otherwise really seizing the opportunity to showcase your students and your staff. At this current moment, if you are already engaging with a PHO Pre-K coach, you can continue that engagement. If you don't know who your coach is, you're welcome to email the Spark Quiet Support Center's help desk, and I'll throw that email in the chat for folks. Next slide. It's over here. And lastly, what I was only able to share today is really just an abbreviated amount of information available through the Spark QI Support Center. If you want to learn more about marketing and family engagement strategies, Spark QAC does offer a myriad of professional development opportunities and resources. And we do have some upcoming topics available starting in mid to late June and these are all virtual. So some topics we have are how to recruit and retain families. Another is fostering community engagement in early childhood education. And another is strategies for marketing your EC business. If you want to learn more, feel free. If you want to learn more about these events, feel free to check out our events calendar. If you want to find more information about our resources, you're welcome to go to our Knowledge Center. That is what I'm throwing into chat right now. Otherwise, thank you. Feel free to reach out for any further supports.
Thank you, Rex. So, if you have any questions regarding anything enrollment, please reach out to the Free Philly enrollment team by emailing us at phlprek@phfc.org, or you can call us at 844-745-7735. This concludes our Free Philly Pre-K enrollment training. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them down below, and someone from our enrollment team will be sure to respond. We thank you for joining us today and wish you a pleasant, smooth process for the FY25 enrolling year. Have a good day.